Coming up here on the San Francisco 49ers Report, Kyle Shanahan and the Niners have to make this move. Brock Purdy was fantastic. A fascinating look at what he was able to do. The numbers are very tremendous. And also some more takeaways from that victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know it was ugly, but the Niners escaped with the win. And we always have to celebrate a victory Monday. So if you're enjoying it, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and let's get it underway here on today's Niners Report. I'm Chase Senior. Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. And no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, as always, I greatly appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. Hope you all had a great weekend. Thanks for tuning into the watch party. Hope your weeks are off to a fantastic start. And I want to start off with this. Kyle Shanahan has to fix the Niners special teams unit. This is a unit and phase of this team that has consistently underperformed. And on a near weekly basis, it is costing San Francisco in a big way. And it's been this way for the last several years, really since he took over as the head coach for this team back in 2017. He's a wonderful offensive mind, a great play caller, a very creative play designer. This Niners defense throughout his tenure has excelled, but this special teams unit continues to let the Niners down over and over and over again. And it could be this team's undoing here in 2024. In big moments, in the playoffs, in the regular season. Shoot, even in the preseason, there are special teams blunders that happen on a frequent basis. And yesterday, if you want to nerd out with some of the analytics, the 49ers lost 12.2 expected points against Tampa Bay. On the season, the Niners special teams unit, a 29-point deficit. And since 2020, the 49ers have had seven games, with double-digit expected points lost. They have been on the plus side once since 2020. It is now 2024. And against the Bucs alone, the 49ers special teams cost them 17 points. 3 missed field goals, a botched punt return, which led to a Tampa Bay Buccaneers touchdown. And you think about some of the special teams miscues that have happened here recently and in 2024, yesterday's disaster against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How about how special teams cost the Niners in the Super Bowl on numerous occasions? There was the blocked extra point on the Jake Moody kick. Niners could have used that point a little bit later on. The Kansas City Chiefs were doing nothing offensively. Botched punt return. Ray McCloud, Jarrell Luter Jr. led to the first Chiefs score of that game. Big punt return in that game. This year, the fake punt against the Rams gave a dead team life. The kickoff return for Laviska Shenault against the Seahawks on the road nearly flipped that game in the favor entirely of Seattle and paved open an opportunity for the Seahawks to nearly steal a victory in that ball game a few Thursdays ago. Right here, too many to count. It's inexcusable, it's unacceptable, and for a coach who has such a great history of producing wins, and a lot of them, in producing other really good offensive coaches, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Mike McDaniel, defensive coaches in Robert Saleh and DeMeco Ryans. How does Kyle Shanahan not take special teams seriously enough? How does he continue to whiff with that critical third phase of the game? Let me ask you this. Would Bill Belichick ever let this happen? No. Would Bill Walsh ever let this happen? Of course not. How does Brian Schneider have a job? For 3 straight years now, the 49ers have had some of the lowest performing special teams units in the National Football League. I don't care that we're at the halfway point of the year. If Kyle Shanahan has to fire Brian Schneider, he must fire Brian Schneider because this special teams unit is an unmitigated disaster and they have to get better in that phase of the game. So Kyle Shanahan needs to consider making a move there. And he needs to take special teams more seriously as a head coach, because pretty much you're the CEO of the Niners operation here. Don't let this be the undoing of your football team. You have a bunch of talent. You are now 5-4. You have an opportunity to win the NFC East. The NFC is wide open. But against some of these other well-coached teams, some of these games are decided on the margins. And something as little as one special teams mistake can be the difference in a playoff game between you winning and you losing. And this is something that is completely avoidable, in my opinion. This can be worked on. The special teams deficiencies can be corrected. And for those of you saying, Chase, what are you talking about? The Jake Moody miss, it's not on him. Or it's on him. It's not on the special teams unit. Well, hold on. I blame the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan for the mismanagement of this. Why was Jake Moody out there? He's coming off a high ankle sprain on his kicking leg. He clearly wasn't healthy. And it's not like those field goals were long field goals. They were chip shots, and he couldn't even connect on chip shots. You have Anders Carlson on the practice squad. Why is he not kicking in that game? Why are you even running the risk of putting Jake Moody out there when he's clearly not 100%? That is on the head coach. That is on the special teams coordinator. Jake Moody shouldn't have played in that game. I also saw some people in the comment section here on the Niners Report and on my Instagram page saying, well, Darrell Luter Jr. got pushed into Jacob Cowing. Well, it happened in the Super Bowl. Get it corrected. It shouldn't happen. It should be coached up to the point where your unit understands where the returner is, where the football is, and don't come anywhere close to the returner. You got to do your job. You got to stick that block for sure. But you have to have more awareness, and that comes down to coaching. So should Kyle Shanahan fire Brian Schneider, the special teams coordinator? I'm tired of talking about this on a damn near weekly basis. Type F for fire, K for keep. I'm going fire. I'm making a move, and that's the move that Kyle Shanahan must make after that win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Our sponsor for today's 49ers Report, our friends at Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, the best way to get action on sports in over 30 states, including California, by the way, and it's the best place to join a contingent and a family of people who know ball like myself and Chip, where you can join over 10 million users and sign up today by going to prizepicks.com/CLNS, and you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Some selections that we like for Monday Night Football: Tua Tagovailoa, less than 246.5 passing yards. That Rams defense is really starting to emerge. Jason Sanders, more than 1.5 field goals made. I think that Miami's going to have to settle for some field goals in this game. And then Cooper Kupp, more than 6 receptions. See, it's as easy as that, and it makes game day or game night a whole lot more fun. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Pick 2 or more players. Choose more or less. Run your game with Prize Picks. prizepicks.com/CLNS. Let's move forward on today's show. My biggest takeaway from that Niners win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, outside of Jake Moody missing those 3 makeable field goals, Brock Purdy. He was sensational. He delivered a terrific performance in a huge spot, a near must-win game. He was clutch, and he was the reason why the 49ers won that ball game. And he helped the Niners overcome a special teams debacle for the Niners in Tampa. And you think about his performance in depth. How about what he did with that game-winning drive with only 41 seconds left late in the fourth quarter? 4 of 5, and his only incompletion came on that spike. The touchdown throw earlier in the game to George Kittle. What a play where he had the ball for nearly 9 seconds, had to create with his feet, and threw that ball across his body with touch and accuracy, out of structure, improvisationally to Kittle, and put it in a place where only Kittle could get it, right along that boundary where he was able to get 2 feet down. A high-level, elite throw from Brock Purdy in that moment. And then later in the game, in the fourth quarter, the moon ball to Christian McCaffrey on that little stutter go, where Purdy had pressure in his face. He led McCaffrey perfectly down that sideline, and that play helped launch a scoring drive for San Francisco while they were down. And Brock Purdy is now the second quarterback since 1950 to have a passer rating of 100+ in 10 of his first 15 road games. The other quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. And there was the game-winning drive where he went 4 of 5, but also the comeback drive earlier in which he marched the Niners down the field, 10 plays, 64 yards, in 3 minutes, 15 seconds. On the day, 25 of 36, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, kept the ball out of harm's way once again. Average yards per completion, 9.8, and a quarterback rating of 119.3. That's a Buccaneers team that was absolutely desperate. They threw the house at Brock Purdy, and even though they pressured him a lot, Purdy excelled against the blitz. He was 18 of 22 against the blitz for 274 yards passing, 15 first downs included in those 18 completions. He threw both of his touchdowns against pressure looks, and his passer rating, 148.9. And when your quarterback plays like that, you will always have a chance. And that's why I said going into the bye week that if Brock Purdy can play up to his level, the 49ers can beat anybody in the National Football League. And yesterday, he helped carry the Niners to a crucial victory. Other Niners-Bucs takeaways. The red zone offense continues to be an issue. With or without Christian McCaffrey, they can't punch it in once they get inside that red area. They have to get it corrected. If they don't, they won't make a deep playoff run because they're going to have to score more points against some of these elite teams. Another thing that really impressed me about Purdy's performance and offensively for San Francisco, are they starting to put it all together? Do you see signs of what they can become? A diverse attack with so many different options. 5 players had 50+ receiving yards yesterday against that Todd Bowles defense. As for Christian McCaffrey, he comes back having not played all year. It was the 3rd time in 8 weeks that he had pads on, and he looked a little bit rusty. He looked a little bit banged up. Not quite as explosive and fast as he was last year, but this is why he's so special. More than 100 all-purpose yards, and he played 54 of 61 possible snaps. We were talking about his workload. Kyle Shanahan should manage him a little bit. They signed him to that contract extension. They gave him a lot of money. We're talking about bilateral Achilles tendonitis. You can't risk further injury. CMC's like, I'm good. Let me play 54 of 61 snaps, and Kyle Shanahan wasn't going to stop him. I worry about that long term. I also give credit to the player for how much he loves ball and the recovery process that he had to endure, in which he said it was a pretty difficult time. I do want to round out with this. I woke up on this Monday morning and I asked myself this. Who are the 49ers as a football team? They have mastered the art of hurting themselves. In almost every single game this year, outside of the Vikings loss and the Chiefs loss, they have outplayed the opponent. They have severely outgained the opponent on many occasions this year. And you see all of the potential on the offensive side of the football. Yards per play, number 2 in yards per game. They have weapons all over the yard, even without Brandon Ayuk. All of these players have played at a really high level. They move the football ad nauseum with ease. Defensively, you see some moments in which they're able to get after the quarterback. The secondary is really coming together. Renardo Green, Diamador Lenore, they were exceptional at that cornerback spot yesterday. Maliek Mustafa, he looks to be the real deal at that safety position. Nick Bosa was held in check, but when he needed to come through, he comes through with the massive sack of Baker Mayfield in a big spot. You see that the Niners can become and be an elite team this year here in 2024, but at the same time, they'll either turn the football over in a bad spot, the offense will stall in the red zone, they'll miss multiple field goals, they will be sloppy, they'll miss a block, defensively, they'll miss an assignment. Nick Bosa won't be able to bring down Baker Mayfield by one arm, and instead he'll be able to just throw a ball on a 4th and 7 to extend the game to give the Buccaneers a shot. It's good play, bad play, good play, bad play, great drive, bad drive, great drive, bad drive. bad special teams blunders. And so you wonder who the 49ers are as a football team. Is this just who they are? A team that is very up and down? Yesterday was a microcosm of their season. They are 5-4 for a reason, but can they shake that? Because we see the potential of them doing that and who they can become. But that's the question I had on this Monday morning. Who are the San Francisco 49ers as a football team? I don't think any of us know. What I can say right now definitively, they've been average up to this point going into Week 11. So is that who they are? The NFC Playoff Picture. If the season were to end right now, the Niners would not be in the big dance. And that's because the NFC North is so loaded. That's because the Arizona Cardinals have exceeded all expectations. They're 6-4, leading the division, and Kyler Murray is playing excellent football. But the NFC Playoff Picture right now, the Lions, they pitch a second-half shutout against the Texans on Sunday Night Football, and they overcome 5 Jared Goff interceptions. They win to maintain that number 1 seed at 8-1. Philadelphia's won 5 games in a row. The best overall defense during that stretch. Offensively, they've been very efficient running it and throwing it. They're the 2 seed. Because the Falcons are winning their division in the NFC South, they're the number 3 seed. You see the Cardinals there in that 4 spot. And then the wild card teams. 2 out of the NFC North. Vikings at 7-2. And the Packers at 6-3. The second best team in the NFC East, the Commanders at 7-3. They are the 6th seed. And so what I've been saying is that this is a very crowded NFC and a pretty loaded division with the Rams starting to get healthy. And that's why the Niners haven't been able to afford losing some of the games that they should have won, like against the Rams and against the Cardinals in this division. They win those 2. You're looking at San Francisco in the playoff hunt and leading the NFC West. Other teams in the hunt, you have the Niners there, of course, at 5-4. Rams 4-4 going into Monday Night Football against Miami. Chicago, Seattle 4-5. Tampa Bay at 4-6. And I think it's safe to say everybody else is cooked. No way Dallas at 3-6 makes the playoffs. New Orleans, Carolina 3-7. And then the New York Giants at 2-8. So I leave you with this. Let's hear from you down in the comment section. Will the Niners make the playoffs? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you, as always, for supporting the program.